can a neural network generate optical illusions? I hope everyone is familiar with optical illusions. If not, I hope this one will work for you when I put it on the screen. If you look at this, look at it straight on, part of this image will appear to move, right?
Actually, it doesn't work so well for me, this one. But
You
I'm
have just the
looking.
weirdest brain, Yoshi.
But I'm looking
The
at very
hanger
small.
reflex doesn't work for
No,
you.
it was too small. If I make it full screen, it works for me, or like bigger on my computer screen.
Okay, well that's a relief. Your brain still works, uh,
Brain is still working.
still effective. So there's a new paper that set out to learn or to train a neural network and see if the neural network could see these optical illusions, like could it detect the motion, and vice versa, could it generate new images that would have optical illusions, that have like this like optical illusion motion in them.
That's
There's a paper titled Evolutionary Generation of Visual Motion Illusions. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's linked. I need to...
Oh.
There we go. It's on archive. The original. Not bioRxiv, not SciArchive. This is the regular archive. I don't know if it's been published, but this is a preprint. Yes. And basically, they looked at a class of illusions like this, where the image appears to move, while it doesn't actually.
That's a specific class, yeah.
Yes. And they trained a neural network to look at these optical illusions. So now, if you're asking why are neuroscientists making brains transparent, you should better ask, why are scientists training computers to look at optical illusions for fun?
No. This has both scientific value and commercial value, maybe.
Yeah, of course, Josh.
Sorry, I am. I do
was
not
being
detect
sarcastic.
sarcasm, and I defend everything. Especially, I mean, he can be a bit mean against computational neuroscientists. So I have to defend them.
Never mean.
No, yes, never.
So the authors then, they apparently the neural network could detect images that would produce movement, or like this optical illusion of movement, and then they made it generate new images. I will put it on screen now. Yeah, they sort of work. These don't work for me as strongly as the other one, but
this I can't. So this is too small for me now. I don't have it on my computer screen.
yeah, when I'm staring at it, it works for me. But
Okay.
maybe it also produced some that didn't seem to work.
Okay. It's quite impressive that it performs some that seem to work, I think.
And that's kind of the thing that I wanted to have it as a takeaway. I would think that optical illusions are such a complex interaction between both our eyes, our retinas. There's a lot of processing in your retina, visual cortex, maybe motor cortex. I don't know.
Yeah, it's what you.
I would expect the whole brain to be involved in learning this or in producing this.
There's a lot of expectation involved, right? A lot of priors that your brain expects, and then something is violated in what you see, and then things start turning. Basically, I guess.
I expect so. I don't
But
know how.
We don't know exactly how. No, I don't think there's
visual illusions
very.
work in
No,
humans.
there's not a very clear mechanism for it, I think.
So yeah, the seeing that here is really surprising to me. Like, I'm really surprised that a neural network would be able to even detect this artificial motion, let alone generate new images like it. It's very impressive. I don't know if that will really provide new insights into how human brains work.
This is what I was going to ask. Like, do we know how the neural network actually generated these things? Was there something specific that it found that made it work, or not? We don't know.
That's it's a difficult question. There's always the huge question of how much does one thing translate to the other, because artificial neural networks are not brains. They're not even really brain networks. The way neurons communicate in the human brain or in a live brain is generally very different from how it communicates in an artificial neural network. The rules are much more complex. There's much more variability. There's much more interaction in every single direction. So usually artificial neural networks can't really 1v1 applied to human brains, unless they've been specifically designed to mimic human brain structure, which some are. There's an interesting branch of cognitive neuroscience that does this. But it's always the question, how much can you then draw back to the human? And that is often very difficult to test, even. Actually, and this is a really good example because on one hand, this neural network kind of goes the other way as well, right? Because not only does it follow the same pathway, presumably, as human vision to produce to detect these optical illusions, you can trace that pathway in the reverse direction and generate a new optical illusion and then test that it works on humans, and it does, which is just mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, so it's a good like proof or example of the network working as intended, right? Yeah. No.
Well, it didn't work in all cases, so I don't know the accuracy of it. But yeah, it might be onto something. I think it's an interesting bit of work. It's out of my field, so I can't really comment more.